and so on. And I learned not to flirt anymore with girls from 25. It's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, same.
And I don't pick up fights anymore with youngsters.
No, unless I want to lose them.
I had a strange experience at a certain moment. I woke up, and I was really physically completely fucked. I had problems with headaches and cluster headaches, etc., etc., etc. And in the middle of the night, and I just went into Vipassana meditation, and suddenly the pain was completely gone. Hey, how is this possible? Then I start thinking about it, and then I was in enormous pain again. I mean, so.
I have a tooth I do that with.
Pardon?
I have a tooth I do that with. If I think about it, it starts to hurt, and if I forget about it, it goes away.
Yeah. So I come more and more, to the whole point that it's all fucking mental, the whole thing. I just come from a meeting this afternoon, people I know for years, and I'm getting sick and tired of the whining, I'm an alcoholic and this and that and oh, la, la, la. Oh, fuck it,
I had a sponsor who used to answer the phone. He goes, "You got 30 seconds to whine, and then I'm hanging up."
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Paul.
Good afternoon. Good evening. How is everyone?
Well, I'm just complaining about 12 steps.
As a collective, we're wonderful. Individually, what? I don't know. Yeah.
I got my 30 seconds of whining in before you showed up.
I wanted to read that thing again from yesterday or Tuesday on page 100. For some reason, it's sticking with me. I know why, actually. So, I'm going to start it. First of all, this is not an AA meeting. It's just a group of people in recovery sharing their observations, their experience, and their understanding. Simple. Join us if you like. We're going to look at page 100 in the big book coming out of Working with Others. We touched on it on Tuesday. And it's the last paragraph, and then on page 101, the top. So it goes, assuming we are spiritually fit. Yeah. We can do all sorts of things alcoholics are not supposed to do. People have said we must not go where liquor is served. We must not have it in our homes. We must shun friends who drink. We must avoid moving pictures which show drinking scenes. We must not go into bars. Our friends must hide their bottles if we go to their houses. We mustn't think or be reminded about alcohol at all. A lot of people find themselves in this situation. Yeah. And if that's the case, a pretty good bit of advice would be, if you would enter a controlled environment. Yeah. So that the things that trigger you, which may be many at that point, could be lessened so that you could get a reprieve from that daily insane activity, with the hopes that in that setting of, let's say, protection, you would be introduced into the program of recovery. Yeah. In other words, read the book with somebody, I'd imagine, get to the step and then start it. Yeah. At least get to the first three, because those first two are observational, and the third is a decision. You could do that very quickly. And then get started with the inventory. If you want to have a basic way to do an inventory, go to Joe and Charlie. And they probably have websites that you can download their little papers concerning the 4-column inventory, which jives with the exact description in the big book. Yeah. That when you see the description, there's only 3 columns, but if you follow it a page later, they say we now go back to our list again, and that's the fourth column. Yeah, and that's to see how we're rolling things. Many of us at a certain point cannot see our role in things. Yeah. And here they talk about it as they're saying, now someone who's in sobriety, we meet these conditions every day. Yeah. Life is going on the way it goes on. Yes. Yet we have learned that we could face life successfully. So that when I see something that used to trigger me, it doesn't trigger me anymore because I have recovered something that was seemingly lost. Yeah. Yeah. So we meet these conditions every day. An alcoholic who cannot meet them still has an alcoholic mind. What is an alcoholic mind? You could say a lot of things, but let's say a mind that's captured by self, so to speak. Yeah. So self is running the mind to reinforce the self. Yeah. So your thoughts have an intention to reinforce the idea that they're your thoughts and your feelings and your resentments and your this and your that. So a whole lot of ownership gets claimed underneath that tutelage of self. Yes. And we have made a decision to turn what has been claimed by self over to the care of something greater than self, our will and life. Yeah. So we're basically making a decision that it's now not under our control. We can't turn our will and life over to something else because it's been taken by something else. So we have to make a decision about it, which is going to set you off for the launching of the working steps. Because while you're in this controlled environment, if it's a rehab or something, you may have the ability to do the steps where you wouldn't be able to do them out there running around trying to not call, answer calls and demands and go to work. So here you go, get a good start when you're under that refuge. Yeah. Get going with the steps and meet somebody. And then if you don't understand them, ask people who have an understanding of them. Yeah. Because if not, like we used to say, what's the most important day of a 28-day program? It's the 29th day. Yeah. It's when you leave the controlled environment. Yeah. You have to enter the bridge is the program, is the step, the meetings and stuff. Yeah. And they found it. Someone presented it to me the other day, statistically, that when people who are trying to stay sober leave prison, if they don't go directly to a meeting, they go out generally. Yeah. So they have bridging the gap. And so we try to close those gaps so that, and there are bridges to go over those gaps so that we can stay physically sober so the recovery can start. Yes. Yeah. So we meet these conditions every day. An alcoholic who cannot meet them still has an alcoholic mind. So the faith is in the self. Yeah. To an extent where many people have to be in a controlled environment. They can't do it. Yes. They can't pull it off. And that's great to know. Because when you assume that you're in a condition that you're not, it's usually going to be proven to you you're not in that condition. So, like, if you believe you got it cornered and you're running the show, and if you keep slipping or going out, obviously you're not. Yes. Yeah. So we meet these conditions every day. An alcoholic who cannot meet them still has an alcoholic mind. A pretty good ruler, a pretty good thing to compare yourself with. There is something the matter with his or her spiritual status. Well, what's the matter, I would say, is the spiritual status is overridden by a mental status. Yeah. Because the problem resides in the mind and it's facilitated by the mental processes being claimed. Yeah. So you're under control of something. His only chance for sobriety, this is incredible, really. His only chance for sobriety would be someplace like the Greenland. Well, now we have the Greenland ice cap. Now we have rehabs. Yeah. Now we have whatever call them, 28-day dry retreats. What? Yes. There's tons of all this stuff has grown up. Yeah. To react to the uncontrollability of the active alcoholic and addict. Yeah. So there's stations where you're physically paused. You're put in a place. You can't use your phone. You do this and do that with the hopes that something can take root in that environment, because I can't live in a 30-year retreat or rehab. Yes. I can't afford sober friends and a sober roommate. I saw a woman do this and it never worked. And she ended up finally killing herself because she had gotten a lot of success in life, the material success. And when she went back out after 20 years, she hired sober friends and a sober roommate so that she could have, and it didn't freaking work. Yeah. So here he goes. His only chance for sobriety would be someplace like the Greenland ice cap or a 20-year program. And even then, an Eskimo might turn up with a bottle of scotch and ruin everything. Exactly. Ask any woman who has sent her husband to distant places on the theory he would escape the alcohol problem. In our belief, any scheme of combating alcoholism which proposes to shield the sick man from temptation is doomed to failure. Unless there's a bridge from that controlled environment, yeah, to the community of recovery, yeah. With that in place, you can leave that 28-day program and be sober the 29th day, the 30th day, the 31st day, the 32nd day, and let that momentum build. Yes, yes, there is grace, but grace's effect is built on a momentum. Yeah. And this momentum is supplied by our community because people can't stay in an enclosed environment. They've got jobs, they have other responsibilities. So we this is the protection racket of recovery, in a way, is the engage in the community. And, yeah, because there's a collective expression of a power in our community that overrides the assholeness of a lot of the individuals. There really is. You can sit in a meeting and every one of you, me included, is an asshole. And yet us being together under this event is like a sweet bouquet. Something uses us to express itself through. Yes. Yeah. So we've just been with someone and he needs help, but he's got to start helping others also. And I don't believe where it says you have to have it to share it. I believe if you're willing to share it, you'll have it. I do. Yeah. So here, his only chance for sobriety, blah, 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 blah. In our belief, any scheme of combating alcoholism which proposes to shield the sick man from temptation is doomed to failure. If the alcoholic tries to shield himself, he may succeed for a time, but he usually winds up with a bigger explosion than ever. I had this with 2 years in Delancey Street. They didn't have any AA, when you were ready to leave, they froze you out basically because they didn't want you to infect the people they wanted to stay the rest of their lives. Yeah. And then when you left, you were on your own, and then you were easy pickings. You were. I was. And then I went out for 10 months, and luckily I got washed up on the shores of AA. Yeah. And I found the solution. So, in our belief, any scheme of combating alcoholism which proposes to shield the sick man from temptation is doomed to failure. If the alcoholic tries to shield himself, he may succeed for a time, but he usually winds up with a larger explosion than ever. We have tried these methods. These attempts to do the impossible have always failed. Yeah. And then the beauty of it, the failure of it can be the great success. Yeah, because just one time, when the switch is switched, yeah, you get it. Yeah. And that which seemed difficult and like a burden and a chore is now a way of life. And now these principles reign supreme. And this principle that keeps you sober for a day is the one that leads your rest of your life for 40 years. So, yeah, I just wanted to emphasize this because we meet so many people who are uncontrollable at the time. And so there's an attempt to put them in a program or a rehab or something, and at least put a pause on the situation so they're not doing any more harm, at least, yeah, with the hopes that something gains traction. Yeah. Yeah. And recovery is such a different event than trying to stay sober. Yeah. Or start trying to not to drink and recovery are whole two different things. Yeah. And for me, the recovery is going to produce a condition of never starting again, a day at a time. Without that, it's always going to be that fear of starting again and having to stop. Yes? Yeah. So I really feel abstinence has a lot of meaning. And one of the meanings it has with me is that the topic of alcohol and drugs is like in a history book. Yes, it's not contemporary now. It doesn't mean anything to me at the moment. Yeah, it's like an old history of World War II. Yeah, that to me is an incredible solution to be able to live without any effort and thought on your part. With the problem not existing for you is incredible. Yeah. And I'd love to see many, many people I've been introduced to find that. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know what it takes or what it's going to take, but an understanding needs to be found. And the understanding we share here is truly the nature of our defeat is foreign to us. Yeah. It's as if you've had a 8-year flu. After a few months of the flu, you're calling the flu's symptoms yours. Yeah. And then you become the extension of the flu. The flu would have passed out of you, but now that it's you, seemingly, it can last the rest of the lifetime. Yeah. So there is a solution. So yeah, anyone else? That's what I wanted to go back to this because I've just had an experience of it with Amelia's nephew. Sweet person, yeah, but uh, like the shark always attacks from below. Yeah, you usually don't see a shark attack because it's not coming at you; it's coming from underneath you. And in a sense, this is sort of like the active alcoholism. Yeah. Once it gets you in its jaws, it just throws you around a little bit. Yeah. So if you have a meager understanding of this, let it be fed. If you're just starting, check out Joe and Charlie. They have a beautiful understanding and they can decipher the big book for you, where you'll see it in a new light that may be more helpful. And then having that first revelatory event of seeing your role in things is an incredible uh, step in recovery. Yeah, is to see your role in things in the fourth column and be able to connect the person that you resent and your role in that. Yes, and emphasize your role more than the person that you resent. It's incredible, and it's just the beginning. Yeah, this power is going to constantly reveal to us a lot of shit, and a lot of it is about what we're not. Yeah, so you can start recognize what is of the flu and what is not of the flu. Yes, so not be perpetually sick all the fucking time. Yeah, yeah. So we're here every week, Tuesday, Thursdays. Probably will keep being here until further notice. Because this is all consuming alcoholism. It truly is. And it has a huge bandwidth. It affects a lot of others, a lot. It leaks a lot, like a molasses that's spilled. It leaks and everything gets sticky. Yeah. And we're not going to be free as it. We need to be free from it. So first things first, let's stop calling its manifestations ours every day. Yeah. And deal with a resentment, not your resentment, because it's not your resentment. It's a resentment. Yeah. And the mental anxiety that has taken the place of fear and having fear all every day when there's no apparent threat, that addiction, that bondage, that spiritless servility that allows that condition to continue every day of getting electrocuted every day by fears of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. All of these things can be muted by this program, and you can live anew. Really, as it says, you will be reborn. Yeah, and basically every day you're reborn, and you're in the habit of being sober. Yeah, it's a great habit to have, especially if it's essential for your well-being, which it is if you're a real alcoholic. The habit of being sober is freaking awesome. Yeah, it's easily produced by following the suggestions, trying to practice the principles. It happens. Yeah. Yeah. And then get on with living. Jesus Christ. It's it's going to be gone very fast and you'll really regret that you missed most of it. You really will. You really, really will. Always thinking there's a better moment around the bend. This is all you got right now. Yeah. And it's a whole lot, actually. So, yeah, I don't know. This thing got me stoked because, in a sense, you can see it would be interesting to see how many rehabs there are in America. Yeah. How many 28-day programs are are here? Thousands. Yeah. Huge business. And there's a weird recognition of the recidivism rate. Yes, you'll probably see the same people there again. Yeah, that's yeah, that's flipping me out. So, yep. So our point of view is based on page 64. It's not our point of view. It's a point of view stated in the big book. Yeah. Maybe they knew that what was going through them, maybe they didn't. But it blurted out on page 64 that self is what has defeated us. Very clearly. It says being convinced self is what has defeated us. Manifested in various ways. We considered its common manifestations. Its common manifestations. First things first, why are we calling its manifestations ours? Why? Have you ever questioned that? It very clearly says it's its manifestations. So resentment is a manifestation of self. Why are we walking around sharing it with others, our resentments? Yeah. Fear is a it's really fear that's concocted through mental anxiety. Faith in the mental anxiety produces the fear. Self-reliance is what allows that anxiety to become chronic. You're relying on something that's unreliable, so there's a built-in anxiety relying on it. And you're trying to change everything, but you're not changing the fundamental dilemma, which is self-reliance. Yeah. So self-reliance is what has failed us. That's why you're in fear today. Most people could spend an hour telling you why they're in fear today without mentioning self-reliance ever. Yeah. It's completely, it's them, it's this, it's that, it's here, it's what. Yes. And of course, when you try to deal with an effect, you're not getting to the cause. And actually, the cause produces more effects. Yeah. So we're going to consider, so being convinced that self manifested in various ways was what had defeated us, period. Yeah. We considered its common manifestations. Resentment is the number one common manifestation, yeah, of the manifestations of self in our lives. Resentment is one of the big, it creates an acidicness in your Petri dish, and then grievance thrives in it and shit like that. It's a very corrosive condition, resentment. Yes, we all know that. So resentment is a manifestation in our life of self. Why are we calling it ours? If you're a big book thumper, thump on that. Yes? Why are you calling resentment yours and passing it on to other people? That theirs are their resentments, as if you have a domesticated resentment and they have a domesticated resentment. Once the resentment's domesticated, it can live as long as you live. Yeah. And your blood supply is going to it, your attention's going to it. Yes. And after a while, you have 50 of these fucking tumors on you. Yes. Basically, you're just dried out every freaking day because these things have hearts and blood and they want to pump and they want grievance, 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 resentment, resentment, resentment. Yes. Jesus Christ. Yeah. And every time we try to see it, we mistake it because we call it ours. It's just insane. And it's nonchalant, my resentment, my fear, my fear, my resentment. Thank God I don't have your fear and your resentment. Yes, it's insane. Yeah. You really, when you're free of resentment, you really can see this shit. You can see that a resentment, it's life expectancy out here is not that long. It usually comes up quickly, anger ensues. If you don't act on it, it dissipates pretty quickly. Yeah. But then a resentment claimed as yours lives on you. It starts living in you. And while you're alive, it's alive. And a lot of attention and interest is given to it. And a story is built about it, how you've been wronged and this and that. And it becomes like a very valuable thing to the head because it's feeding off of it. Yeah. And it wants you to have more resentments. Yeah. So that you can be alone, but feel right about it. Yes. And there you go. And then the cocoon of alcoholism is transparent. You don't know you're in it. You don't know you're in the terminal uniqueness, but you are. You think your resentment is justified and it's not like any other resentment anyone else has ever had. It's worthy of being thought about all day and gone over. And it's killing us. Our allegiance to it is killing us. It is. So let's just start. You start with the common ones, resentment, fear, and then how the head works is the end justifies the means. And therefore you look at how many people you stepped over to get what you wanted. Yeah. And you tell the truth about it. And you look at it, let's say in the sexual arena. Yeah. You wanted to have sex with that woman. You didn't care she had a husband and 3 kids. You wanted what you wanted, and you went and tried to get what you wanted. So you look at the wrongs that happen by pursuing what you want and how it hurt other fucking people. Yeah. And you'll get a good view of the mechanism of selfing. Yeah. It has an idea that the end of it justifies the means. If I want to get what I want, no matter what, and if it's going to mean I'm going to forsake something or hurt someone else, fuck it. Yeah. This is a life driven by self. And all the people we've run over, yeah, were run over. We were the car that was used, but it was self that drove over them. Yeah. Yes. So do an inventory, see your role in things, and then recognize that there's something else that has a much bigger role than you, which is self. Yeah. And tell the truth about it and start living free from its influence. Yeah. Yes. When you play the role of the patient, you don't play the role of the doctor. So when the doctor of the program, and you just stay on the operating table, when the doctor is removing the resentments, stop fucking holding on to them by calling them yours. Yeah? Let the fucking operation, the doctor operate and take this shit out. Yeah. My. Yeah. You have to participate in the operation, or they're going to have to keep you out. And a lot of the operations in the beginning, you may be under anesthesia, but as things go on, you're wide fucking awake. Yeah. That's the joy of it. You wake up to the brilliance of being present. Yeah. So if you have faith in this doctor, let it do it the operation. It's going to go right to those manifestations of this foreign influence and take them out. Yes. Yeah. They're outside of you, they shrink, they put into a different proportion, and you recognize something. Yes. Do you really want to be alone and right? Is it that valuable to you? Yeah. So we're all in a beautiful, many of us are in the passenger seat watching this scenery. It's awesome, man. But many of us are in the trunk. Yeah. They don't know where they're going and they're being driven by fucking something. Yeah. And we can't truly enjoy our little trip of scenic wonders when we know there's brothers and sisters stuffed in a fucking trunk somewhere. Yeah. And if we can have some say in the matter and present an idea that may bring about a relief that isn't easily come by, man, yeah, here we are. every Tuesday and Thursday. Because obviously something's not working in a lot of levels. Yeah. You can't be you can't be, you never hear the statement of being institutionalized. It comes easy in a way where people are now, they can say the right thing, they can play the game, and they live in institutions. They go in and in and in. Yeah. I think that's too accommodating to the problem. Yeah, let's make the problem uncomfortable. Instead of being uncomfortable to make it comfortable, let's make it uncomfortable. Yeah, see what it is, and it ain't you. Tell the truth about it. Yes. And now making that decision, allow the faith that was in finite self to be transferred to the infinite. Yeah, you'll be much better for it. And so will others. Yeah. And because you're going to be used, you're either being used by self or used by spirit, but you're going to be used. Yeah. And in neither case are you the driver. You're in both cases of being used, you're the driven. Yeah. And you'll know the driver by how you're driven. Yeah. It's obvious to recognize we were driven by the same driver called self because we show the same traits and everything else like that. It's obvious. Yeah. It's obvious that the thoughts that drove you crazy were the same thoughts that drove me crazy. Let's call them alcoholic thoughts. Yeah? So it's easy to recognize that one seeming thing took over a multiplicity of us and drove us to places like pitiful, incomprehensible demoralization, or had us in a state of spiritless servility. We're very freaking clear, but we're not clear that it's foreign to us. There's an adherence and an adhesion to it that somehow it's us, and that part of us has to be rehabbed. It doesn't. It's a parasitical thing. Yeah. And it sees you from a parasitical thing. It sees you as to be used. Yeah. It's not joining you, it's using you. Yeah. It's not going to become your friend. It's parasite. It's like the story with the lady who saves she finds a snake that's been hurt. And so she picks it up and brings it home and puts it in a little shoebox and makes it comfortable and gets a little eyedropper and feeds it and brings it back to health. And then she's walking around with it and the snake bites her, seemingly without any provocation. And the lady's like surprised because she's been so nice to it. And she says, why, Mr. Snake, did you bite me? And he gives it's a simple answer. I'm a snake. That's the way it fucking goes. Yeah. So, all right. Let's, any shares or anything?
Yeah. Paul Walter has his hand up.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Walter. Yeah, what you say, it makes sense. I mean, I had to avoid all the places where there was drinking. I mean, it was an adventure just to go into the supermarket. I mean, I've been drinking everywhere, and everybody I knew was drinking. The people I worked with, the people I worked for, etc., etc. Uh, I passed that station a long time ago. Um, Sometimes I even with the people who used to drink with, but it's just totally boring, and I don't feel the temptation to drink. And yeah, I come across. I mean, I have a long history of drinking and stopping and drinking and stopping and spiritual seeking and avoiding everything. And well, it's in the scriptures, hide away in the mountains, then coming back, and then getting into the same shies. Um, with relation also, the similar things going on. Like I picked the most crazy relationships. Uh, I come all the time to the point from everything what you say. I mean, yeah, to agree with from it is just like that how you say it. But then again, I mean, the working the program. I come for a long time in the groups. You know, the NA, the AA. I've seen people dying. I've seen people going out. I try to help people. I myself got into trouble by helping people, serious trouble. Um, I see the therapists running around, the psychologists, and I don't know what, you know. And I'm just feeling better and better. I'm very protective to myself, and so I do spend a lot of times on my own. Maybe take a dog, you know. But then I also come to the point. I mean, everything well, also the program, but first you have to see that you're not this self, you know. At least have a glimpse of it. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. I mean, I've been listening for ages to Rajneesh and so on. And yeah, if you don't know what you're seeking, you know, if you didn't have the taste of it, you know, you all the time get mixed up, you know. I mean, you can read the book 100 times, underline it, throw it away, buy a new one. But if you don't have this idea about that self is defeating, you know, if you don't, is it not clear that the thinking itself and the feeling itself is actually confusing, you know? I
Right.
mean, I've been confused so many times by movies, by other people. They have very bright, it seems very bright, nice philosophies, but it's all words and feelings, you know? And I also know I've been introduced by the hardcore essential movies when I was a youngster. For me, yeah, suicide, life is absurd. I just seen one, and then I realized, hey, I've been indoctrinated with it, and somehow it is true, you know. But if you don't see it, you can't get out of it, you know. I mean, the language itself is the basic confusion. And indeed, I come to the rooms, people who are 20 years sober, and yeah, my resentments and this and that. And sometimes I feel to shout, you know, from, hey, fuck off, you know? Uh, and then I see a friend of me, and he was my sponsor, and he got himself in such problems again with the police and this and that. But all the time he gets the most difficult woman who he sponsors them, and this people and that people, and all the time he gets in problems. He doesn't pick up, he doesn't drink, but it's pitiful, you know. Um, so I wonder, you know, from well, I can go sit in the mountains and take a dog, you know, and have a few goats and enjoy the scenery, you know. But I also know after 2 months I'm totally fed up. It's a bit dilemma. I mean, at least I can enjoy the confusion in my brains and that I'm fucked up, and then suddenly there's some complete serenity again. You know, and indeed all the recovery things, the fucking business, first they become junk and then they start a recovery business, you know. First they dealer and then they're trying to help people. I mean, this is the same fucking shit. It's just tragic.
Yes. What's one to do, bro?
Yeah, what to do, you know.
Yeah. Be guided. That's all.
Yeah,
Not my business how what happens. My business is just to be guided, follow. Yeah. If I can give someone shelter, I will. If it's lending them some cash, realizing you're giving them cash, I will.
I'm also like that. That's also my school, you know.
So, but the point is, that's the point. Yeah. I came to a conclusion, and it's has stayed that way for years and years and years, which is I'm very grateful for. I feel like I was given a revelation of the exact nature of the wrong, and nothing since then has changed that. Yeah. And so I feel great faith in singing this song over and over and over again. And it's just for the singing of it, really.
This is like the ancient spiritual scriptures what you're saying right now. I don't know if you realize I know them.
Yeah, so it's just singing it, so whatever. And it's here
Mm.
we all sitting on our perch, and you let me sing, and then you sing, and there we go. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
But
But
I wonder, maybe I'm mistaken. Is it like this that every time you get into problems in situations with people, this is something you didn't see in yourself?
oh, you didn't see. Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of times it's the mirror is for you to see your reflection. So the person plays the role of a mirror so that you see
Uh-huh.
your reflection in it. Yes. Many, many times. But not all the time, but many
But many times, yeah.
because you're not it may be easier for you to see it in them than in you, but by seeing it in them you can bring it to you. Yeah. Yeah. So I think life is always offering uh a lot of reflections. Yeah, a lot. And sometimes, like when I came into recovery, in a weird way, and then I got to the phase of making amends. And then amends just found me. And I had been conveniently avoiding some of these people for like 15 years. And then suddenly I'm running into them all at concerts and everything else like that. And in my old day, I would have thought, what a fucking drag. I never wanted to see that person again. But I needed to see that person to be free from the past.
Yeah, what you do then with people who are still who are drinking themselves? I mean, I see myself with my family, the only one I had contact with, and they did try to help me, but both of them are alcoholics. What
Yes.
to do?
Well, I'm the only one in my family now, my original family. Everyone else has passed away.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm the only fruit left on the Hedderman tree.
Hurry up, boy! Hurry up!
Probably the most the worst one stayed the longest, let's say. Whatever. But yeah, so
Thank you, man.
yeah, yeah. Life has a way of bringing shit up that you would rather avoid quite a lot. So, but I see it as an invitation. Before I used to see it as a drag. Now I see it as an invitation. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, most stuff is projection. It should be a thing they teach in school, really, early on. The head usually is projecting onto someone else something it's thinking about you. Yes, it's just constantly doing that.
I mean, I know I've been confused from childhood on, and it's a similar story like you. And then when I came across alcohol, from wait a minute, until the alcohol destroyed me, and then it was a long way back, and now finally the confusion is getting lifted
Yes.
at the brink of dying.
Whatever it takes, it's actually a pretty nice journey. Yeah, and you're going out on a winning note, which is good.
I
I
will die laughing. I'm sure about that.
feel like I like that. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, so well, all right, we have Craig and we have Lebowski. All right. Whoever wants to go. Mr. Lebowski or Craig, you wanna
All right, I'll jump in real quick. I just wanted to share that I had the same experience. I from like the age of 10 to 48, I spent my entire life reliving everything that I thought had been done to me. I was stubbornly entrenched in the belief that I was at the effect of everything that everyone had done to me. And my wife, before she left me, she said, "You're like an elephant. You don't forget any little thing." And I put a lot of mental energy into remembering over and over all these things because there was some kind of sick value in it for me. And then 4 in the morning, before I was supposed to do my fifth step, I was embarked on that fourth column. And about 5 names down, it became apparent for the first time in my entire adult life, it became apparent that I was not at the effect of all these things that had been done to me, that I actually had been the perpetrator of all these things, that I had activated all these things, and that none of these things would have happened if it wasn't for me making it so. And people tried to tell me that my whole life. People had shook me, threatened me, tried to, snake bite me. And it wasn't until I started, pen to paper, and something about that fourth comment starts writing itself. It's like the power takes over your hand and starts writing the truth, and you see it for the first time. And it's like that expression, once you see the trap is sprung, and you can never get away from the truth again. And I went from this guy who walked around in his body completely in belief that I was at the effect of everything, to somebody who saw different, who saw that it was me doing it all along. And I walked free from that point on.
Yes.
That's it. Thanks.
That's a lot of things come to a conclusion. They do, but you continue, which is awesome. Yeah, it's awesome, bro. Yes, thank you. Craig.
Hi, Paul. How are you?
Good.
Just a quick question. I was at a step meeting on Sunday night, and they were sharing on steps 10 and 11. And I asked my sponsor regarding step 11. So we sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him. And I was struggling to understand the we understood Him part. So he gave me his take on it. Could I just quickly ask for your take on it, please?
The idea of God of my own understanding, when I got sober, that was dropped quickly, because why would I want to have a God of my own understanding? I already had one, in a sense, yeah? So I went to the idea I want to have a God of its own understanding. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to understand God from its point of view, not have a God of my own understanding. So that. Now, the 10th and the 11th step, 10th step is to continue to take inventory. Yes?
Which I really struggle to do.
Yeah, check out, and put down some assessments of how things are working. Things have changed, not just checking out the selfishness, the self-centeredness and stuff. So that I did for a few years straight in the beginning. I don't do that now, but I believe
I really struggle with that. I'll be honest. Writing down an inventory every night.
I would try to get into it, because
Yeah.
it proves valuable down the road. Because a lot of the value down the road is you don't have to do things anymore. So you did them when you were first in, and then they may not be necessary anymore. But if you don't do them, they may continue to be necessary, and you're not doing it. Yeah. So to me, I would make an attempt, just take it a day at a time, write some stuff down about, where was I selfish, self-centered and stuff like that. Yeah. Just try to get into that habit for a while. And so that's the 10th step. And then the 11th step, I feel the emphasis is to improve one's conscious contact. They suggest that could happen through prayer and meditation, but it's not the only way, obviously. They just suggested two things, prayer and meditation, but it's not the only way. And when you come out of that trance of self, you're awake. Yeah. There's a recognition that you're in a moment, yeah, that you really are the moment. And to me, being awake is the best maintenance to be awake. Yeah, is just the being awake. Yeah. As time went by, I did less and less shit to improve my conscious contact, and my conscious contact was seemingly improving on its own. Yeah.
Yeah.
First, I jumped into It took me 3 years to start meditating, because I was really jacked up from all the coke and everything. Yeah.
Mhm.
The prayer was I really depended on the serenity prayer the first 4 or 5 years. It was like a manufactured pause, PAUSE. So when stuff was moving too fast or I was seemingly getting overwhelmed, I would just say the serenity prayer. Succinct, beautiful, it has so much packed into it. It's incredible, skillful means. Yeah, because a lot of times I was overwhelmed thinking I had to manage still. Yes. So the serenity prayer was very helpful. But that stopped after a while. And I don't go there that often anymore. So you're gonna pray if you go to a meeting twice at the meeting also.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
I went the meditation route. It took me a couple of years, and I had been introduced to meditation when I was younger. So I got into it. I got into it as more than just a casual thing. It became an occupation. I started meditating a lot, yeah, and going on retreats. And I went to different countries and tried different methods of meditation. And I like this one called Vipassana. If you want to check it out. And there's Zen, following the breath. But I would Vipassana. It's a long word, but it's that was an easy one to do where you just follow points on the body. And it's the old story in Hinduism where the head is very, very chaotic. So you put it on a pole and you have it go up and down. They would use that as following the breath. Yeah. And so
Mhm.
the monkey calms down a little bit. So most of us have monkey minds, and meditation is a way for the mind to calm down. And in the calming down of the mind, a lot more gets revealed, not to the mind, but to you. Yeah. Yeah. So meditation can be very helpful, and there's lots of forms of it. Yes. There's
Mhm.
guided meditations. You can get an audio thing. There's lots of forms. I don't do any formal thing. I would say you're on, and there's a feeling about that. They call it the I am, yes, let's say.
Mhm.
There's an onness that you can feel, and that's quite meditative without doing meditation. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're actually being meditated all day because Craig is a thing, yeah, a body, and something is meditating on that body. Yeah. And you can feel the presence of that energy. So, yeah, that's how I see it. But
And
I would.
you see when you've commented a few times on the channel about like just being an action figure.
Yes,
Like
yes. The
um
action, well, we're not just the action figure, but we are what's seen here and what's noticed and what's having all the experiences is an action figure. You have Craig as a body, yes?
yeah.
We are not the action figure. So they would say the spiritual solution is our nature is spirit, where the action figure is flesh and blood and brain and shit like that. Yes?
Mhm.
So the action figure I feel is almost like you're on a ride. Yeah. Like when you go to an amusement park,
Mhm.
you get on different rides. I would say what's getting on the different rides is the first ride. Like the idea of being the action figure is a ride. Yeah. That
Mhm.
you're going to be on for 80 years or 70 years. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a ride. And then you think you get on other rides, but you're a ride yourself. So something else got in you as a ride.
Mhm.
And when the action figure runs out, that's something else that got on you as a ride, leaves the ride. The ride doesn't go with it. The ride is left behind. So the body is sort of a ride in an amusement park, and
Mhm.
something spirit has gotten in it, and it's on a ride. Yeah, but that ride started and will end, and the spirit doesn't start or end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you leave, the body will remain, and then someone will pick it up or burn it or cremate it or bury it or whatever, make it compost. They're doing tons of shit now, but your thing is going to be left behind. So that which went on the ride got off the ride. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like a roller coaster, you get on the ride, the roller coaster takes you, and then you get off the ride. Is the roller coaster taking you anymore? No.
Mm.
Yeah, you've left the roller coaster. In this case, spirit leaves the body, the ride's over, and it's like it probably never happened.
See, some of your non-duality stuff is just like mind-blowing to me.
Well, it's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Just
I like the 12-step reflections, but
yeah, don't need to understand. It's just something knows inside you, and what's going to hit that will hit it. Yeah. You'll
Mhm.
be you're on a need to know basis. You're you're something to be understood. You're not the one that's understanding. Yeah. The
Yeah,
actual figure is something to be understood. It is not the one that's understanding everything.
yeah. I had a few weeks ago. I had a bit of a meltdown, so I'm listening to yourself every day, your old videos, and I'm listening to other shares. I'm going to meetings, and so many people have got different opinions on the book and the terminology and the words, and my brain just can't deal with it. It's like, why is not everybody singing from the same sheet? And it was just I put myself in this rabbit hole of just like I couldn't understand why you can ask five different people about self and you maybe get five different answers. And my brain just couldn't work it out. It was like, and I started getting a bit sick. Like I just couldn't, because my brain's very over analytical as it is, but then I overthink everything, and
Yes.
then I just
Well,
kind of,
take a vacation, chill out.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't, I don't I don't know how to at times. That's the thing.
Well, this is how we learn how to face life successfully. We start from the admittance that you can't, and then you learn. Yeah.
Hmm.
Go through a relearning of things here in life. You may think you're starting late, but it's never too late to relearn. And
Yeah,
life, AA gives you principles and a community to promote you facing life.
yeah.
And you'll
It's like you could describe self, and then I go to a meeting, somebody says it's ego, it's 100% ego. In my mind, will say that's not what Paul said, or that's not what X, Y, and Z said, and
yes.
it's conflictive in my mind, and I know it's only people's opinions, but I just go down a rabbit hole with it.
Well, come up for air and go help someone else and
Yeah, I'm doing that.
put some chairs up. And
Yeah, I try and do as much service as I can in my groups.
yeah, when you recognize you're getting overheated, you pull over. Yeah, like if you're driving and you start seeing smoke coming out and the radiator's starting to bubble, you just don't go faster. You pull over. Yes,
Yeah.
and of course you have a big agenda, but it's going to take time for the water to cool off a little, and then you get back in and drive again. Yeah,
Mm.
this is what happens, and this is what you learn. There's pit stops. You can pull off the road and chill for a while. So you got so excited about all this information, maybe you gulped it down too fast. Yeah, and now you've got to sort of throw some of it out, vomit some of it out. Yeah, so this is all a learning thing. Just be clear of, just don't cross that line of drinking and using.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. That's not on the agenda.
That's awesome then. And then you'll learn how to face life successfully. This is part of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I go extreme. So you read one book that got you excited, then you read 13 of them and stuff. Yeah,
Hmm.
you learn about what you're not in a way, and you get into a groove. Yes, yeah, because the point is for us to be of most use to something greater than us. Now, I don't know what that's going to look like, and in that recognition, I'm open to seeing it. Yeah, so I feel very clear that what's driving me now, I have great faith in. So I don't look back much. I just keep looking straight ahead. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah. So you're going to find your way. So you went down a couple of rabbit holes. You didn't drink with the rabbit. Hallelujah. You faced the rabbit hole successfully. Yeah. Yes.
hmm Yeah.
And yeah, if you like what we say, listen. If you like what someone else says, listen. And the head would love to have it being a combat sport, but just find what works for you.
hmm
Yeah.
Okay, Paul.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for your take on that. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
No problem, Craig. Yeah, we're all in this boat together. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. So I'm just sharing something. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, I think it will later. But great. And there you go. But the point is are you swimming? Yes, great.
Mhm.
And then keep swimming at least. Yeah. All right. So is that it? Oh, we got Steven. Nice to see you. All right, Craig, man. Yeah.
Thank you. Take care. Thank you again, Paul.
Thank you for being so intimate. Fantastic. Yeah.
Hey, Paul.
Yes. Hey.
Good to see you again. Craig's share took me back a bit, and if you don't mind, I'd like to talk a little, just for a few minutes, about my experience with the steps in total and 10 and 11. My guy Big Jim got me meditating day one, and because I trusted him, I did it. And but I went through all the steps, and it was pretty easy to understand the actions, the first three and four and five and eight and nine. Um, Six and seven, I didn't get, but I did the best I could. And when Craig was talking about step 10, what I did the same thing when early on, it was quantifying all the things I fucked up. I did this, I reacted to this, I'm doing that, I'm not doing this. And it was this quantification of these things coming out. And in the 12-step book, in step 10, at the first paragraph, it says, then comes the acid test. I've read that 1,000 times, and one day it became criteria for me. So I put a one, two, and three. It says the acid test. Can I stay sober? Can I remain in emotional balance? And can I be of serve, good, basically contribute to life? I'm paraphrasing. And the reality was, no, I could not. I could only do number one. Even then, it was kind of, you know, that was the best I could do. I was still very sensitive, highly reactive, and uh, and I kept doing, but I kept doing it all. I kept meditating every day, and I really, it took about 30 days to kind of check out, and I loved it. And 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 what I see is the reason I couldn't do, uh, I didn't have emotional balance, and I couldn't really contribute much to life, was because of step six and seven, because these other things were still happening. There's these other, well, as the book calls them, character defects. The desire to be right, these desires that, as you said, told me months ago, become needs. I didn't want to be right. I needed to be right. And that means you needed to be wrong, which caused conflict, which caused unsettledness. But over time, I, I look at this, I call it a spiritual fitness program. Just like an exercise program. If I want to run a marathon, I'm lucky if I get to the bottom of the driveway. But if I follow the training program for a guy my age, um, over time, I'm going to be able to do that. And that's what I found with the steps. Um, you just And that's what my sponsor kept telling me. He said, you can't work on it directly, meaning trying harder it doesn't, we already tried harder before we got into AA. So, it's not trying harder. It's relaxing, like you say, relaxing back into it. And so my 2 cents is I'm just glad, and I still do it. I still do this. I've gone on the 6, 7, and 10 meeting tonight, and it pays dividends. For my little investment, if the stock market worked like this, we'd all be billionaires. For our little, relatively little investment, and we get these dividends every day for the rest of our life. Awesome, man.
Yeah, and it's a shared stock.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it's a publicly sourced stock. It's very good.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. Thank you.
Sure, man. You're welcome.
All right, well, I think we'll say goodbye. Michael Stacy is a man of service. Mr. Lebowski, I'll be more than happy to do it. Just have to remind me a day or two for Monday, all right? Yeah. John in Florida, you're all hazy there. Linda, I can't see you, but I have a feeling you're there. Walter, thank you, brother. Miak, as always. Tomas in Poland, nice to see you. Craig from Scotland, I'd imagine. Yes. Dennis, oh, that's a cool picture. Rick Rowe, my friend Vlad. Miss Volkman, always a pleasure. She's not at the furnace right now. That's good. Rico Cruz, a man of his word. I can't get to the other page, but thank you, everyone. And yeah, just had another lovely event of sitting in the presence of a loving something that's expressing itself through our group conscience. Very nice. Yeah. So we'll be here again Saturday, and so it goes. Hopefully, it'll keep on rotating. Yeah, very big pleasure. We are so fortunate to be sober, literally. And then the waters of our life can be calm, and by looking into them, we'll see a sweet reflection of presence, let's say. Yeah. Yeah. All right. See you guys. See you, Lebowski, everyone. Thank you.
Paul, see you, man.
Thank you, Paul.
Yep.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Vlad.
Craig, hang in there, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Double thank yous.
Everybody have a beautiful day. Unless you have other plans.
I do not.
The seasons.
Bye, everyone.